My only employee is clearly pregnant based on how tight her shirts are getting around her stomach and how much she's eating now, but she hasn't told me yet, and I'm worried she won't come back after the baby, so should I just ask her if she's pregnant? Posted by you/Major Perception 3519. I own a small cafe, and only have one employee. She was recommended by a frequent customer, her husband, when I posted the listing. I interviewed multiple people, and she was not only the nicest one but genuinely the best candidate. She'd been a stay-at-home mom for 11 years for 3 kids and said that she felt it was more important for her to be there with them than working, and I can't and don't fault her for that at all. She shows up, she works, she does everything and more that I need her to do. I have zero complaints about her as an employee. However, over the last 4 months I've noticed some changes. Number 1, she is tiny. And when I say tiny, I mean that. This girl probably weighs 100 pounds soaking wet. And she's never worn tight-fitting shirts. But her shirts are starting to fit tighter only in the stomach area. And it doesn't take staring to notice. Number 2, she used to only take her food to go at the end of the day. Now she'll ask me to cook it earlier, not an issue, she can ask whenever she wants, but she eats at least half of it immediately. She's never done that before, even if she got it before she left. Number 3, her husband has come in a few times and also her father and asked her things along the lines of how she's feeling, and I've overheard her talking about a doctor's appointment multiple times. Now we live in a right-to-fire state, so after talking to my wife I get why she might be worried to tell me in the case I might do so. But I don't want to, and I won't. But I'll admit I'd be a liar if I said I wasn't a bit worried she'll have the baby and not come back to work when she's the only one there to help me out. So, would I be a jerk or way out of line for asking her if she's having a baby? Relevant comments. Commenter 1, what part of never ask a woman if she's pregnant didn't click for you? Ops response, well, I understand that. But if she is and is eventually going to need time off after the baby is born, that's something I need to know ahead of time rather than after the fact when she's the only other one there besides me. I do need to make arrangements for her absence for however long she needs. Commenter 2, Yota. She'll explain what's going on when she needs to. If she's still doing everything in her job, it isn't your business as her employer. There's a lot that could go wrong if you ask her, and not much that can go wrong if you just wait until it become unavoidably obvious. She may be pregnant but prone to miscarriage, which depending on where you live ranges from a horrendously awful health experience to all of that plus legal troubles. Ops response, I didn't think of this aspect of it, because if you see her and know how she looks it's already obvious. I have no idea if she is prone to miscarriages or not. I just know she's got 3 kids she talks about all the time, but we do live in one of those states. Thanks for that perspective I hadn't thought of. Commenter 3, what is this right to fire someone for being pregnant state? Assuming this is in the US by the use of the word state, have you not heard of the Federal Pregnancy Discrimination Act? Yes, there are certain requirements and it can't cause undue hardship, etc., but generally speaking in the US you can't fire women for being pregnant or having pregnancy-related disability. So yes, you'll be and possibly violating federal law in the US, if you live or work there. See the EEOC website. Ops response, it means I can just tell her not to show back up and not give her a reason. Or make one up. If I tell her I'm firing her because she's pregnant, she can sue. If I just tell her she's fired period, she can't. Because I didn't give her a reason. I have no desire to do that, though. Edited, it's not right to fire for being pregnant. It's right to fire for anything. Anytime. Commenter 4, I hope she or someone she knows has read it as well because you gave all the proof needed that it was because you worried she wouldn't return anyway and guess what, you can delete the post but if people have links, they can return to them and it saves the original copy in the comments. You better pray you either wise up and wait or if you end up doing the morally wrong thing, that she nor anyone close to her doesn't follow the IDA subreddit, or if they do they can never figure out it's about the cafe she works at. You better not fire her simply because you don't know if she'll return, because if you do, I'm hoping and praying someone she knows has read it, follows this subreddit, and they get proof you fired because of her being pregnant. Here's an idea, hire other people as well, but again don't fire her. Ops response, I said I didn't want to and wouldn't fire her. Because I don't want to. If she is, I want her back when she's had the baby. Because she goes above and beyond 24/7 when she's there. Me stating the laws of our state are just what they are and my wife saying that might be why she's worried and me being worried she might change her mind about working when I've come to rely on her and it's only the 2 of us there every day. Her job is not in jeopardy either way. Commenter 5, Yimta. Are you going to fire her if she's pregnant? Ask her gently and then congratulate her. Reddit is ridiculous sometimes. Look at all of the other comments. You gauge whether you are close enough to her and whether she trusts you enough. At a certain point it is going to feel like you're pretending not to see the obvious. Ops response, absolutely not. Her job is safe 100%. But I know after she has the baby she will obviously need some time off. And since she is the only employee besides me, I'll need to plan ahead for that 6 to whatever amount of weeks off. And like I said, I am wondering if she'll decide to stay home again with this one. And that's fine, I don't hold it against her. The way she talks about her 3 she already has and the time she was there with them all the time, I can see how proud and happy she was to be able to do that. So I wouldn't be surprised or upset or whatever else if she decided to do the same with this potential new one. I'd just like to know in advance what I'm looking at going forward if I need to hire someone new by X date. Update 1, 1.5 months later. She is pregnant. I did not ask her. Her husband told me and said he's been telling her she needed to tell me, but he said she wasn't sure about how much time to ask off for, if I'd think she wasn't coming back, or if I'd need help and nobody else could help. Because the job has become important to her, so she kept putting it off. He said her plan was to come back after 2 weeks, but these are his words before everyone comes from my head again, said that he wasn't going to let her at that point. Which I fully understand. From there I decided I should save all the tips that would be hers and give them to her, so that is what I'm going to do just so she's not completely out of pay, and she's honestly earned it. She truly is a great employee and I'm happy for her and her husband and their family. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, you acted like the boss she desperately needed and that's worth more than any policy or contract. Stay the course and support her openly because loyalty is born when people feel seen and valued and she will repay that tenfold when she returns. Ops response, I honestly couldn't ask for a better employee than her. I'm glad she plans to come back when she's had the time she feels, or I guess her husband according to what he said, feels she needs to come back to work. Commenter 2, do you have a lot of regular customers who know her and will miss her? Maybe you could ask if she minds, once the baby is born, if you let people know why she's off work for a while? And perhaps have a dedicated tip jar for employees' new baby fund so her regular customers can contribute if they like? Or offer to share her registry link with regulars? Ops response, oh they will definitely miss her. I won't be recognizing their voices on the phone immediately or their phone numbers on the caller ID, or just knowing what they want to drink and having it ready without them specifying it or any extra sauces they want without them telling me. This is a good idea, thank you. Commenter 3, only in the dystopian world that we live in, I am assuming this is the USA, would a woman feel like she has to go back to work after 2 weeks. Dude, let me prepare you. She is not going to be able to come back for at least 6 to 8 weeks. At that she should be taking at least 6 months off. Now I appreciate that you probably only pay her minimum wage so she cannot afford to do this but dang, this is just crappy. Ops response, she makes $20 an hour and works 15 hours a week. I do pay her, I feel like, well for her time that she takes out of her life to help me out. I also know that her husband makes enough that she doesn't need to work for me. She chooses to have something to do. I have no issues with how long she needs to be off. She's the one who said 2 weeks because she told her husband that the job was important to her, and she didn't want to be gone too long. I never told her or her husband that she needed to be back immediately. And I know that since she was a stay-at-home mom with all her other children, she probably didn't realize or fully think that part through yet. And that's fine. I will figure her time off out as I need to so she can be home with her child or children and rest and recover. Final update, 4.5 months later. Final update, my employee was made aware that her job was here when or if she was ready to come back. But definitely don't be a stranger while you're on maternity leave. Please bring that baby in here eventually. She laughed and agreed. Baby arrived very early yesterday morning. Her husband called me to tell me what was happening once their sweet girl was here. I waited until today for the visitors to die down to ask if I could bring them something to eat, and I made her, employees, favorite food item from work. This was her request. I would have taken her something else had she asked for it. And her husband his. She didn't say anything about him but I did it anyway assuming she was in the fog of she needed food and forgot he existed in the moment. My wife and I arrived this afternoon and got to meet the newest member of their family. Mom and baby are both safe and healthy, and that is the cutest and smallest baby I've ever seen in my life. Her older siblings are obsessed with her, and needless to say her parents are as well. She is very very loved. Just wanted to give the happy update to this. Baby girl is here and is healthy, loved, and mom or employee knows she has nothing to fear in regards to her job.